Morning, everyone. Morning to all the Thermomix enthusiast users, and we also do have some non-users here yet. Good morning, my name is Ping Ping, and I would like to thank all of you for your precious time with us here this morning. Yeah, I know Saturday morning is family time, and you take the time to be with us, and we are very grateful for that. Okay, can I know the audience, the type of audience that we have with us today? In terms of if you're already a user, can you type 1? If you're already a Thermomix user, can you type 1 in the chat room? Right? Because by knowing who our audience is, we know what kind of information to share. You know, Thermomix has lots and lots of functions, wonderful functions to learn, recipe tips, you know. So if you're a user, please type 1. If you're a non-user, first time joining us, our Zoom, our first cooking show, please type 2. Right? And if we have non-users, I will go into details of the accessories that come with the Thermomix, more details in the functions that comes together, and all the basic information that you need to know that might give you an idea of what it is, and let you know whether it's something that would help you at home in the future, in the near future. Oh, hi, Chiki and Azima, Emma, Ida, Abida, congratulations on your first session here with us. And for users, feel free to share your personal experience with the Thermomix as we go on, yeah, because we have a lot of non-users here. Probably they might want to hear from you as well on how you've been using it at home, and if you found it very helpful. So feel free to type in the chat room. Yeah, we encourage interaction. Okay, so let's start. For me, and for all of us, in fact, how did we discover the Thermomix? Usually it's through friends using it, friends sharing about how wonderful this helper in the kitchen, and it caught our attention, right? And then the next thing we would do is to come in and see a demo. I was just like all of you, okay? And I went to see a demo at a friend's house at that time. All right, so, now when we talk about cooking, home cooking especially, do you think it's important? I personally feel that it's really super important because, the kitchen is like the heart of the house. Every time everybody comes back, the first place that we go to is the kitchen. And the second thing they will look into is what is there in the kitchen to eat, right? So I would call the kitchen the heart of the home. And if you strongly believe that home cooking is important, there might be different things that you would like to look into, for example, that can be important to you, for example, money saving. Some people feel that if we can cook at home, bringing quality recipes, restaurant quality recipes to our home, we can really save a lot. You can recreate those recipes with just a small fraction of cost, okay, and saving you a lot of money in the long run. And Thermomix will help you to do that. Easy recipe, is that important to you? It is. I'm a mom of 3 children. I always look at simple and easy recipes that I can reproduce anytime I want to. Okay, and later you will also discover that healthy eating now is especially important, especially critical because of the current pandemic. Healthy eating means also hygiene, right? How do we ensure that when we eat out, or how do we even ensure that when we order outside food? We simply can't. And the next thing, of course, is whether what is there in our food, right? We want to know whether they put quality ingredients. That can only be done at home. And leaving out all the no-nos like MSGs, like preservatives, like artificial flavoring, artificial coloring, all those, if we eat out, there's no way we can control. The only way is to cook at home, right? When we know what we put in our food. So healthy eating, it's something that we can do only if we have home cooking, okay? And creativity, this is very, very important. Families want variety. Husband wants something, children like something, 3 different children, different kinds of flavors that they like, So how does a mom keep up with all that? It can be really challenging for a mom. And Thermomix is going to help you to do that. Why? because Thermomix has 60,000 recipes to help you out. At the moment now, it's 67,000 recipes. Can you imagine 67,000 recipes for you to explore? And these are all tested, and it is 100% successful when you use them. Right? Even when you explore 10 recipes a day, you wouldn't be finished exploring all the recipes for a lifetime, for a long, long time. Okay, so we have recipes ranging from Western, up to the, whether you want Italian, American, German, they are all for you there to explore. And we also have Asian dishes, for example, Indian dishes, Indonesian, Chinese, it's all there. Malaysian, already a great variety, okay? So this will help you with creativity at home, giving your home wonderful varieties of recipes that you can enjoy in the comfort of your house. And time saving, of course, now is something that we all look into. Even children now are super busy, and adults, like us, we have to work, we have to care for our kids, for our home. How do we even keep up with that, right? So Thermomix is still gonna be there for you when you are really busy and be able to help you with your cooking, okay? So we will explain that later on. You will see that. Okay, whatever we invest in, the most important thing is we would want to look at the quality of the product. And beyond that, it is a support services, right? I'm sure you all agree with that. So I want to share this piece of information with you. Thermomix, we are under a company called Vorwerk. It's a German company. So Thermomix is 100% German product. And the Vorwerk has been around for 130 years. Very long established company, 130 years. So can you imagine this company? And also in the world, among all the world, we have presence in 85 countries worldwide. So with that information, you know that, oh, this company, yes, 130 years, 85 countries of support. You can be assured that we will be there walking the journey with you when you start to use the Thermomix for a lifetime, okay? And along the many years that we have been in the market, we have also accumulated multiple awards and recognition, yeah, international awards and recognition. So for some, Thermomix can be very new, but I would like to also share this history of Thermomix with you, okay? The first Thermomix was actually invented in 1960s, really that long ago. Unbelievable, right? So if you could look at the chart here, this is how the first version looked like. It looks like a regular blender, okay? And as it progresses and evolved to what it is today, they have added things like blending. Apart from blending, there is weighing, there is a temperature control, there is kneading, so on and so forth. Until now, we have 20 functions in one. All right, the Thermomix is invented in Germany, and they actually have 120 engineers looking into the development of this one product itself. Okay, up to today, it is still the world's best all-in-one kitchen machine. And you can really see how it's growing. Every 23 seconds, you will see a new home starting to use the Thermomix at home, okay? So we hope that you will also be able to see that and start with the Thermomix in your kitchen as soon as you can. All right, so what comes with the Thermomix? This is all it is. If you can look at the chart here, and let me bring you to the real physical machine here we can have here on the side. All right. So on the top here, can you see it looks like an oval-shaped spaceship? It is our steamer called the Varoma. Okay. So it has 2 layers, which I have already prepared some things to be steamed later on to save time, right? The meatball that we're going to do today. So 2 layers now, you can see clearly here. You can actually steam in 2 layers, saving you time and also the cleaning, okay? And for example, you can also do like fish, vegetables together at one go, steamed eggs, for example, omelette. You can also go for that. You can also go for steaming a whole chicken, yeah? By removing this upper tray, you actually have a Varoma dish here, The entire room size is 3.3 liter, where you can put a whole chicken inside to steam. Okay, so you now know that you can steam 2 layers of food at one time with the aroma. Okay, let me put that aside. And moving downwards here, it is the MC cup that usually goes on the lid when you are cooking with the TM bowl itself, the Thermomix bowl itself. All right, so this is the MC measuring cup. Within the measuring cup also, when you get your Thermomix, you will see that, hey, there are 2 measurements here, 50 ml and 100 ml, meaning that, if you want to do quick liquid measurement of 50 and 100, you can actually use this, right? And measuring here, immediately having here, there's a spout here, you can easily pour in the liquid into your cooking, all right? So on top of the TM bowl, there is the lid that covers the bowl, right? TM lid. Thermomix bowl. Okay, inside, something that you can use for small amount of steaming. This is called the simmering basket. You can simmer small amount of food. We really love the simmering basket when we cook rice. We use this to cook rice a lot. Why? Because when you cook rice, the rice stays inside. The bottom will be the water. It actually drains the starch. So at the end, what you get is the low glycemic index rice, low GI rice, okay? So with this now, you can see that, a lot of people who love to keep fit, gym, those gym goers or people who have elderly at home who are diabetic and they want to control their glucose level and still want to eat rice, you can actually use Thermomix to cook your rice. It gives you very healthy rice, okay? And here, of course, it is the TM bowl. Within the bowl, there's a plate. The best thing about the TM bowl, it is a stainless steel material. Why stainless steel is chosen? Because stainless steel doesn't absorb smell. So with one single bowl, for example, if I cook my rendang chicken, the next moment I blend my smoothie, for example, I wouldn't be worried that my smoothie would have chicken rendang smell crossing over to my smoothie, okay? So this is the TM bowl, and there's a blade inside. The blade can be removed, so you can clean thoroughly all the way to the bottom. If you have a dishwasher, the entire bowl can go into the dishwasher. All right. The main thing about the Thermomix, the most important thing, it is the technology that's built in. Thermomix comes with patented technology, the motor, which is the frictionless motor. So frictionless motor means when it moves, there is no friction. When there's no friction, you do not have to worry about the motor getting overheated, getting burned, all right? So you do not have that problem with the Thermomix. You can continue to blend and blend without having the motor smell. And the motor is super powerful, okay? It goes up to 10,700 rotation per minute, right? 10,700 rotation per minute. So if you ever drive in a car, the speed is equivalent to your car going at 250 kilometers per hour. Really, really powerful, okay? And later you're going to see how it helps us to do many things with that superpower, right? A lot of people also love the touch screen. You can see a sizable screen here, very attractive screen. And this is the main screen. You can see the main screen here clearly. There are 3 circles. What are the 3 circles? The first is the timing to set to cook your food. The second is the temperature, the fire that you like. You like it with a small fire or a big fire. So for example, you're making kaya, right? Kaya is very sensitive to heat and you want smooth kaya. So you go on a low temperature. But if you're going for missing your belacan, sambal belacan, and all this curry paste, you want high temperature, then you can go on a higher temperature for bigger fire of cooking, okay? And the third, it is the speed. Speed represents the movement of the hand or the movement of the plate, depending on how fine you want your food to be. Right? So there's these 3 things on the main screen, okay? And where are the modes? Hey, you said there are many functions. Yes, the functions are on the other screen. When you just scroll, you'll be able to see that there is a weighing scale, there is a kneading function, there is a turbo function, there's a pre-clean, blending, rice cooker, kettle mode, egg boiler, for different types of eggs, degrees of eggs that you want to try at home, fermentation, slow cook, and there are space for what? For more there are to come. So the Thermomix is what we call a smart kitchen. There will be more functions as the engineers develop new functions in Germany. They will put it in the latest software update. When the Thermomix links to your Wi-Fi and when there's any update, it will automatically turn on the new function. So the TM6 also comes with the built-in Wi-Fi, right? Which also means that you can also go online by scrolling to the other side to search for the recipe that you want. Go on our platform where you can enjoy your 10,000s over recipes online. Okay. So this is roughly what it is. And to purchase the Thermomix, we actually have 3 options. The full payment is 7,188. We do still have the 200 ringgit voucher, which brings the price to 6,988. Okay, for 20 more functions, right? Unbelievable, right? Can you imagine buying all the different things? It would have been a lot more than this, right? 20, 30,000. But now it's only 6,988. We also have financing up to 24 months, bringing the price to only 9 ringgit a day. Very affordable for every family. Okay. There is also a third option. When you've started to use it, you feel that it is a wonderful thing. You want to go for your second unit, or you feel that, hey, sharing this product is fun. You can come and join us as a working partner, and you can actually earn your second Thermomix, which is the demo unit, for free. All right. One Thermomix does it all, which is what I explained, 20 functions in one. At home, do you have different appliances at home in your kitchen? I'm sure you do. I'm sure you have blenders, right? How many of you have blenders at home? I used to have 2 blenders, one for my dessert, one for my, oilier cooking like my sambal and all those. Right, so 2 blenders at home. And then do you have a bread maker at home? Some of you invested in the bread maker. If you do make cake before, you will also own a mixer, and then you will also own a weighing scale. Right? And for convenience, maybe some also invested in the steamer where you do not need to watch the fire, check the water level, you just turn on the timer, electronic steamer, and then it steams for you, and you have a safe mind to leave it and leave the steamer to steam the food for you. Okay. So there are 6 different things in your kitchen already. So do you also have some people do invest in a grinder? Some people also invest in a rice cooker. Now, can you imagine having all those on your kitchen top? It will look very cluttered. It will look very messy. And at the end, you end up with a lot of things to wash. After a while, you will tend to keep the appliances that you hardly use. For example, cake mixer, right? If you don't use it daily, you tend to keep it first. When you want to use it, you will take it out, right? Bread maker, you don't use it every day, maybe once a week or twice a week. So at the end, you realize that certain appliances in your home becomes white elephant. Yeah. And when you want to make it, for example, you can imagine the amount of things you got to take out and end up with a lot of things to wash. And sometimes with that in mind, it puts you off into baking as well. Right? Do you experience that? I personally had gone through that. Right? With the Thermomix, it is entirely different. The Thermomix, it is like your smartphone. This is your smart kitchen. You never get a chance to keep. For example, my morning breakfast, my half-boiled egg. Do I need to take out the pot? No, I go to my Thermomix, turn on my egg boiler mode, and I get my perfect half-boiled egg. All right. Come later, which I'm going to make meatball, grind my meat. Do I need to take out my grinder? Do I need to take out a steamer to steam? No, it is back to my Thermomix. Later on in the evening, I'm going to make a cake for my son's birthday. So do I need to take out my mixer, weighing scale? No, it is my Thermomix. So this is your smart kitchen, and this is all you need, the space that you need the kitchen to come up with all the wonderful recipes. All right, so we are going to experience that afterwards. Perfect kitchen partner for anyone. Cooking for one person, it is the best. Start with one, all right? And that's all you need, all right? You don't need a big kitchen as well. For families, new homes, it is the best thing. And as the family expands, when you have baby, It is really the best baby food processor that you can ever have, right? Creating multiple baby food from scratch, all right? Fresh ingredients, no preservatives, wholesome food for your baby. And when the children grows up, they want variety, cakes, cookies, ice cream. It's already there for your whole family to explore. It grows and develops together with your family. And also for elderly, it is the best thing. You know, standing in the kitchen for long hours can be very tiring for elderly. But you know, at that age, you want to eat well, eat healthy, right? With the Thermomix now, you can cook easily at home, conveniently at home, and still able to continue your healthy diet. All right. So without further ado, I'm going to pass the screen to IU. She's going to show you how to make a wonderful drink, perfect breakfast drink for your family. All right. So we will pass the screen to IU now, and we're going to start to put our Thermomix in action. Okay.
Okay, hi, good morning everyone. I hope you all can hear me loud and
Yes.
clear. I'm
Yes.
actually outside in my balcony. So
Oh,
just
wow.
to show you how versatile it is. So you can see, I'm not in my kitchen. So I just wanted to do something different so that you all can see how easy and possible it is to bring a Thermomix anywhere you go. So for example, like once when the borders are open and you plan to, go on your kitchen, the Thermomix is a really, really great kitchen appliance to bring along with you. So for this morning, I'm going to show you how easy it is to make Teh Tarik without having to do all the pullings and all the messiness in the kitchen, and without having to worry, going to the mama and telling them, oh, kurang manis, tambah manis, and all the other manis. So this, you can adjust the sweetness according to your taste. So it's very, very simple, and it actually takes less than 8 minutes to do. So the recipe is in Cookie Dough itself. So when you go to Cookie Dough, you can check out the Teh Tarik, which is written there, full milk tea. And all the ingredients that you need will be given at the bottom. Okay, so we will start. So I'm using the tea bags. You can either use tea bags or tea leaves. So for today, I'm using tea bags. Okay, so it depends on how many people you plan to serve and how strong you want it. So I'm using around like 12 tea bags. And as you can see just now, Ping Ping explained that we have the built-in weighing scale. So I don't need to get another separate weighing scale to measure and things like that. So we already have a built-in weighing scale in here. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to measure the water. All right. And then next, we're going to insert the measuring cup. So at speed 1, okay, I'll just bring this a little bit closer. So you can see the time is going to be 7 minutes to brew, and the temperature is at 90, and the speed is at 1. So the reason why the temperature is at 90 is because that's the ideal time, ideal temperature to brew your tea. So this is one of the reasons why I love my Thermomix, because the temperature is so precise, the cooking timing is by the second, and also the speed that you want to do, you can control it all manually as well. So besides that, I'm sure you have seen most of our demos. We have shown you how to make fresh lemonade. Now the fresh lemonade is a big hit in my house because it's made in less than 6 seconds, and it's got no artificial sweetener and things like that. So I control the amount of sugar in it, and it's a great morning, wake up drink to have. And Teh Tarik is perfect when you have like guests coming over. So like for the next 7 minutes, I could probably be watering my plants, or I could, if I have guests over, I can actually go and entertain them. So I don't have to be sitting in the kitchen the whole entire time. So this is another great point of why I really, really love Thermomix. So Sunita, would you like to show us your hot cross buns while we wait for a few more minutes while my tea is being brewed?
We can pass it to Ping Ping.
Okay. Ping?
Pass it to me first because mine cooking
Okay, Ping.
some time. Yeah.
Yours.
Thank you, Ayu.
Okay.
Right. Yeah, like I can say, really, lemonade is a hit among all families, all Thermomix users, right? Right. If you're a user, already a user, can you key into the chat room if you've tried our lemonade and how your family love it? Just to give the new audience a feel about, how you use the Thermomix to make some juicing at home or smoothie at home. If you make that, please key in the chat room to give them some ideas, right? Okay, let's move on. And the next thing I want to show you is how you can cook with the Thermomix. So after making a drink, which is also from the same machine, I'm going back to the same Thermomix now to create my meals. Okay, so I'm going to do the meatballs today, and it gives you the idea that in future you can make different varieties of meatballs. All right. So if you have no idea how to cook it at all, it's okay. You just need to look for the recipe, which I already have searched for it and save it in my Thermomix, right? So within the Thermomix, there's a memory, built-in memory. You can save up to 10,000 recipes in the machine, okay? So giving you a lot of recipes to try at home. So I'm going into my recipes, which I've created, going into my created collection, and I put it under my main course here. So you can create your own category as well. And here I have brought up my meatball with tomato sauce recipe. Okay, so you can see the screen, right? So when you want to start, you just need to click on the start button here, start cooking. And it says to place a small bowl on mixing bowl lid. So meaning it is to place any bowl that you have on the lid, which is this lid. Okay, next. And it says to weigh in 40 grams of bread. Now, can you see how flexible the weighing scale is? So now you can understand weighing doesn't need to happen just within the bowl. You can also weigh outside the TM bowl by placing any other container that you like to weigh in on top. Okay, zero back the scale. And now you weigh in the ingredient that you like. So it says here to weigh in 40 grams of fresh bread. If you make fresh bread that you can't finish, keep it. It will be your homemade breadcrumbs for all your cooking needs, okay? So you put in the bread, 40 grams, which I've already done it earlier. So to save time. So here I have the bowl, all right, which I did this earlier, and zero it and put in my bread, okay? Cut it into small pieces like that. All right, small pieces about this size. Okay, 40 grams of bread. Next, and it says to weigh in 80 grams of milk. So it's a very clever weighing scale, right? It's zero rice for you when you weigh in the new ingredient. And you don't even need to remove the previous ingredient to weigh just the new ingredient that you want, okay? Unlike your traditional weighing scale, okay? So it's a very clever, intelligent weighing scale. All right, then it says, set the bowl aside, leave it to soak. All right, meanwhile, we go on next. It has asked us to put in some fresh parsley leaves, okay, which I have already prepared here. So I have some parsley leaves, 6 to 12 sprigs. If you want the recipe, I can just share the link with you later on, okay? So you can recreate this recipe yourself at home as well. 1 garlic clove, so I have already had 1 piece here peeled. Okay, next. Insert measuring cup, which is this cup. When you see instruction that asks you to insert measuring cup, it means to cover the lid. All right, so just cover it. Next. And now it has set the time to 5 seconds. No temperature is required. And it has asked us to turn the speed selector to speed 7. All right, so this is the speed. I'm going to turn to speed 7. All right, get my speed to okay, so can you hear the lovely music when it's done? It will let you know that, hey, I'm done. You know, I'm ready for my next step. Okay, let me show you what happened. Now this is what happened inside. In a just quick 5 seconds, you get everything chopped up. Okay, you don't even need to take out a chopping board and having to chop, and after that having to clean your knife and the chopping board again. So it happens just within the bowl. And after that, you just need to scrape down. It tells you to scrape it down, which we are doing it. I'm doing it here for everyone here. So we go scrape down, so everything goes to the bottom, right? And we go next. It says to add 400 grams of beef minced, broken into pieces. Now Thermomix can do meat grinding as well, right? There's instruction that comes with your basic cookbook when you get the Thermomix, okay? So now you can also make home, minced meat easily at home, and you can also go for different kinds of meat. For example, chicken, fish, whatnot, all right? So all different kind of mincing you can do at home. And I've already done it previously here, all right? And I'm gonna put that in, about 400 grams. Right. Next, it says to put in 2 medium eggs, and I've already prepared here. We will put in the eggs. Okay, just pour them in. Next, some sea salt and pinch of ground black pepper, which I've already prepared. Next, squeeze out of bread and discard milk. So remember, we had soaked the bread, which I'm going to squeeze out the milk, and I'm going to discard the milk. So just squeeze it out as much as possible. So this is going to be our homemade breadcrumbs that is going to mix in together with our minced meat. Okay. Right, and then we go next. And it says insert measuring cup, simply means to cover the lid. And then next, turn speed selector to speed 5. So just turn it to speed 5. Okay, so now my mixing is done. So if I were to do it by hand, have you made meatball before by hand? You got to go and squeeze it, right, to make it really nice and bouncy. So for example, fish cakes as well, we can also do that. If you like it to be like very springy, what you can do is you can engage the kneading function, which Sunita is going to show you. By kneading your meatballs, it get very nice and bouncy. Okay? So let me show you the inside. It has mixed up everything in. Okay, so fast, right? In just a few seconds. So sometimes if you do see that there are like maybe some small pieces that are on the side that is not evenly mixed, what you can do is just to scrape everything down again and repeat. I'm just going to repeat for a short while. We're going back to the previous step. So it can be very flexible. Okay, just turn it to speed. Okay, now should be all mixed up. And then the next instruction, it tells us to transfer to a bowl and set aside. All right. So I have here the plate here to hold the the minced beef that I have. Okay, I'm just gonna take everything out as what the recipe asks us to do. Okay. So in future, you can do your chicken nuggets like that as well. You know, you can make really nice chicken nuggets with the Thermomix. You can also make your own fish paste, your yong tau fu, you know. You can also go to like creative like meatballs. You can also add sotong inside to make your steamboat, sotong seafood balls, you know, for your steamboat. And all these you can make it when you're free, and you can keep them in the freezer. And anytime when you need it, you can just pick it up to cook your soups and, you know, or to input in your daily cooking for your meals. So just scrape the thing out. If there are more that you see that's on the plate, okay, you have this tip. How do you get it off the plate, right? Instead of trying to scrape, all you need to do is to turn the speed up again. And by turning the speed, it actually cleans everything out from the plate, making it easy to pick up the balance from the side. All right, so now you can see everything comes out here. Makes it very easy to pick out the balance. All right. Now I have the meat here ready. Next, grease aroma dish, which I already done it. And it says to oil your hands and shape meatballs and place them on the aroma. So I have greased both layers, the dish and the tray. And all you need to do is to shape them to get this size. You can actually weigh it if you want it to be very accurate, right? By putting a plate on top, and then you can turn on the weighing scale. Okay, and you can weigh your meatballs here to ensure that they are all in similar sizes. Okay. The other easy way I like to show you is, of course, you can use your ice cream scoop. All right. So next, we have done the meat, and we're going to place it aside. We're going to do your shaping. The next thing is we are going to make the sauce. All right. So make the sauce. I'm going to rinse the bowl a little bit. And that to you shortly. Just give me a minute. So cleaning can be very easy and very fast. Okay, you place this aside. Next, you're gonna do is to place 1 clove of garlic. So we're gonna put in the garlic inside to make the sauce. Next, the onions cut into quarter. Okay. Next, 20 grams of extra virgin olive oil. That's the good thing about home cooking. You can use the best quality oil for your family. You know, outside you don't even know what kind of oil the restaurant uses, right? Sometimes they use recycled oil, which is something that we cannot control when you eat out. Now we have 20 grams. Next, we're going to insert the measuring cup. Release it here. Okay, so simply cover it. Insert the measuring cup. And it says turn speed selector to 5. So with the measuring cup still inserted, all right, so let's chop it up already. We're gonna push them down. Okay, and we're gonna saute first, all right? You get very nice sauces, yeah. We're gonna cover it. Next, and then we're gonna saute it for 3 minutes, 120, and turn speed to stick on. Now this part can have you, when you do cooking on the pot, for example, stir frying of your garlic, bring it to aroma, stir fry of your onions, right? You got to stick to the stove top, right? You got to be there, literally there, doing the stirring and doing the cooking, right? You cannot leave the stove. The moment you leave the stove, sometimes your garlic get overburned. Sometimes even when you heat up the wok, it gets too hot, and then the moment you put in your garlic, it gets burned, and then you got to clean up the whole thing and repeat the whole process. Have you ever experienced that? And at the same time, doing it on the stove, on the gas stove or electric stove, you tend to have a lot of splatter. Now with the Thermomix, chopping happens within the bowl, and then following by the cooking as well. The twist also happen within the bowl. Right? So it's so easy. At the end, you only clean one bowl. And the best part is there is no fume. Because we are cooking at 120 degrees, it controls the temperature. So it doesn't create burn, it doesn't create fume that is really bad, hazardous for your health. By inhaling fume, it is actually very bad for the lungs. And today, we can safely use extra virgin olive oil without worrying that the oil will get burned, that the nutrients will be all gone, and the oil turning into carcinogenic oil, right? If you overheat the oil. But today, we can just leave it and let it cook by itself. So next time, when you add the Thermomix, when you do your own sambal belacan, your curry paste, it will all just be as simple as this, like what we are doing today. And like I used to say, when it's cooking, you can leave. You can actually look into your gardens, if you're into gardening, children at home that need your help to attend to their homework, their guidance, you can be there with them. Or if you're busy with your work, and you can also have a laptop like me here beside, and you can go on with your work while you're cooking at the same time, enjoying healthy meals at home. Yeah, so this is really the best that you can ever have. And with this now, you really save a lot of time. At the end of the day, after cooking, you don't have smell in your shirt, you don't have oil spattering around, you don't have grease all over your kitchen, your cabinets that you've got to wipe through, and your floor, right? You don't even need to mop. All you need to do is just the Thermomix that you have to wash, the tabletop stays clean, yourself stays clean, and that's your cooking, enjoying your cooking moments every day that you can have, right? Creating thousands and thousands of recipes. Okay, so you can see here, this is the steam. There's no oil. And it doesn't matter where you are at home. When it's done, it will call you and ask you to go on for your next step. So now it says to add in some chopped tomatoes, chopped tomatoes.
Yes, looking at the waist.
The chopped tomatoes from the grocery. So just pour them in. So 1 can is about 379. So it's okay. I'm going to make a little bit more because I've actually done double recipe for the mincemeat. So I have, and the mincemeat, by doing that, you can actually keep it in the freezer for your future use as well. So it's good to sometimes make more when you have time. Okay. All right. Next, 1 teaspoon of sea salt and some black pepper, which I've already prepared here. Next, place the covered baroma in position. What does this mean? Now, this is something very unique and useful, right, for home cooking. This kind of technique of cooking. So it says here to place the aroma, meaning I need to remove the MC measuring cup. And remember aroma, which we have already shaped our meatballs and placed our meatballs on top. We're going to place this on top. Okay. And we're going to go next. Okay. It's going to cook now for 20 minutes. Temperature, setting it to Baroma. Baroma means more steam. And turn the speed to speed 1. So it is steaming for us. Okay. So I'm going to cover the Baroma lid here. At the moment now, can you imagine? I'm making my sauces at the bottom, and I don't even need to stand there and stir. On the pot, this will not be something that you can do by leaving it to cook by itself. You get burned at the bottom of the pot. You need to stand there and constantly stir. As you're stirring, as the sauce starts to boil, you know it will start to splatter, right? Now it happens all by itself. It's going to be done all by itself within the TM bowl. At the same time, because the sauce has a lot of liquid, it is going to steam my meatball at the same time. Saving energy, saving my time, having to watch the fire, and now I can leave it to cook and I can attend to other things at home. So this is a wonderful way. It's what we call 3-in-1 cooking, 3 layers cooking together. This technique, we have multiple recipes that you can explore. When you're back from work, for example, and you're in a rush to create a complete meal, you can use this method, all right? Cooking your rice at the bottom, or soup at the bottom, and then at the top, you can steam a meat dish, and you can steam some vegetables, and there you go. You have 3 complete sets in one meal, 3-course meal done at one go in a short 18 to 20 minutes. And the 20-80 minutes is good enough for you to take a wonderful shower, right? Giving you a peaceful mind to have a relaxing shower while your meal is being prepared for you. Okay, so we will leave it to cook for 20 minutes and we will move on to the next function that we're going to show you, different types of recipes, and we're going to move on to some baking recipes. And Sunita is going to show you how to make hot cross bun at home, right? Wonderful.
Are you finished, Teh Tarik?
Oh, Teh Tarik.
Yes, I just have
Teh Tarik is done.
2 steps.
Okay. See,
So I've already done brewing the tea in here. So because I use the tea bags, I'm just going to use the chopstick. And I will remove the tea bags away. So the tea bags, you can use it for your garden or whatever. So over here, we have 2 extra ingredients, the evaporated milk and the sweet condensed milk. As I said, the cookie dough is amazing. It also shows you step by step how to make teh tarik, in case if you are just wondering. Okay, so we're going to put the evaporated milk first. And you can see that it's moving by the gram. That's how precise it is. Because I understand, like, sometimes when you are baking things and things like that, things like the flour and all that has to be precise. So it's really, really great for measuring and accuracy. So next, you're going to put in the condensed milk. So now this condensed milk, for the first time, you can maybe put like 150 grams. And then the next time, if it's too sweet, you can reduce it. Or if it's not sweet, you can always add on. So that's the great thing when you make your own teh tarik at the comfort of your home. So everything's in. I'm just going to put the lid back on. And in just 10 seconds, you're going to see how amazing and what's going to happen. So right now, as you can hear, it's blending my teh tarik. Now's the magic. Are you ready? So my Teh Tarik is done. So when you have guests over, this is a very, very quick, very fast local kind of drink that you can make besides, you know, your typical syrup and things like that. And with Ramadan coming, I'm sure you want to have a nice buka puasa, jamuan kind of thing. So the Teh Tarik is a highly, highly recommended. My whole family loves it. That's why now they are waiting for it again. And you know how you need to tarik to get the foam? This is already done for you. So I'll just show it to you. Can you all see how amazing my Teh Tarik is? And look at all that foam. So there's so much of foam in there already. So all you need to do is already serve it in a cup and you're done. That's it. That's how simple it is. So besides that, you can always make like fresh soya beans. So you can have all kinds of different drinks, smoothies, because it has the blended function as well. So this blended function you can also use to make your own chicken stock. And for those of you who love bubble tea like me, it's great because you can make your own pearls. So you don't have to be too concerned about how the pearls are made, how much of sugar. Like I said, everything is customized to your preference. Okay, see, can you see, can you see, can you see? Ah, okay. While I enjoy my sip of Teh Tarik, I'll pass it to Sunita first.
Good morning, everyone. Can you hear me loud and clear? All good?
Yes.
Okay. Today we're going to do brioche hot cross buns. So the recipe is in cookie dough, as Ping Ping mentioned. Currently, we have about 68,000 recipes on cookie dough. So Easter is next Sunday for us. So hot cross buns are very popular during the Easter season, but you can actually make them anytime. They're really, really nice buns with raisins and mixed fruit in them. So I'm just going to go start cooking. So it'll tell you to grease and line a tin. So you just follow the instructions, place a bowl onto the mixing bowl lid to weigh all that. So I've already pre-weighed my ingredients. So 130 grams of unsalted butter. I'm actually doing half the quantity of this recipe because the whole recipe is about 500 grams and I've already made half earlier to show you the finished product. So we're just going to start. So it's 200 grams of milk. So I'm just going to put in 100 grams of milk. $50 grams of sugar, so 25 grams of sugar. So always put your sugar into the milk and not on the blade because it's very little milk. And 2.5 teaspoons of yeast, so that's also half of that. Insert measuring cup. So this is how easy it is to make hot cross buns. So now it's set for 2 minutes at 37 degrees and it says speed 2. So I'm just going to turn it to speed 2. So what it's actually doing now, it is activating your yeast. So for those who traditionally bake bread, you would know that when they ask you to use yeast in a recipe, generally for bread recipes, they will ask you to put the yeast into some lukewarm water and to let it bloom for about 10 minutes before it is ready to be used in the recipe. So with the Thermomix, it's only 2 minutes. And lukewarm water is very subjective. Your idea of lukewarm could be very different from my idea of lukewarm. So the Thermomix sets it at 37 degrees, which is the perfect temperature for activating your yeast. So you will never have any problems when you make breads. A quick tip to remember is if you do buy yeast, whether they're in the vacuum packets or in the bigger packets, I like to keep my yeast in the freezer. Once I have opened it, I keep it in the freezer. So I can keep my 500-gram packet of yeast in the freezer for 3 or 4 years, no problems at all, and the yeast will be fine. But if because of our Malaysian weather, which is hot and humid, you should actually not leave it out because then your yeast can literally die. So a lot of people have failures with their breads because the yeast is not fresh or it has died, and then it doesn't get active when you put it in your bread, and your bread comes out hard or like stone. So just remember to make sure your yeast is always fresh. All right, so we have another 8 seconds to go. So this is how easy it is with the Thermomix, right? And when it's done, it rings, so it lets you know that it's ready. Let's go to the next step. And we need 1 egg. So I'm doing half, so it's 250 grams of bread flour, which is high protein flour. And it says 1.5 teaspoons of ground cinnamon, 1 teaspoon of ground nutmeg, 1 teaspoon of ground cloves, and a teaspoon of salt. So I have half everything and I've got them all in here. So I'm just going to add that in. And then go next. So again, insert measuring cup. Next. So 20 seconds, speed 3. So this is now just going to mix the flour and everything up together. So it's just going to bring everything together for you. So this is what it is after the 20 seconds. All right. So now we're going to go next. And it says keep measuring cup on, next. And it's going to knead the dough for 5 minutes. So I just have to turn it to start it off, right? So the Thermomix has an amazing kneading function. You can actually knead your own pasta. It makes really lovely breads. And you can also make your own fishball. You can make your pizza dough, etc. So with the Thermomix, you can also make your mantau, which is what we do at our normal demos. And the mantau, instead of buying a mantau outside, you can actually make it at home fresh. Because if you have gone shopping and looked at the frozen mantau that they sell, you will see that the shelf life of the mantau is easily about 1 year to 1.5 years, the expiry date, right? So can you imagine the amount of preservatives that go into the making of that frozen mantau, right? Just a quick reminder to all of you, when you are doing kneading, this is 250 grams. You will notice the machine does move. If you put 500 grams, your Thermomix can walk. So be very careful when you are doing kneading. Make sure you are standing around the machine and not leaving it unattended. Because if it is on the edge of your kitchen counter and you leave it while it is kneading, you do not want an accident to happen. Okay, that is because the motor is so powerful and it is actually like literally like kneading it. If you were to knead this by hand, or even in your bread machine, if you use a dough mold, it's easily about 20 minutes just to knead the dough. With the Thermomix, it's only 5 minutes. So I can be here with my air conditioning on and I don't have any flour on me, and I can have the fan on and I don't have to be sweating while I'm doing the dough, right? So you can whip up breads, buns, whatever you like. There are so many recipes on Cookie Dough. Cookie Dough currently has about 68,000 recipes, and I always get excited when they add new ones on, right? So with the kneading, you can also make your own homemade pizza. So you can do any topping that you want, right? Depending on what your family likes. Your pizza toppings can be from vegetarian to non-vegetarian. You can also make individual pizzas for different members in your family who like different toppings. Instead of having to order from Domino's or Pizza Hut, just make your own pizza. It's so much fun. You can do it with your kids, and it's also definitely so much tastier, right? So we have another minute and a half to go. So while this is kneading, I will show you the previous lot of buns that I have already done. All right, so these have been proving for about an hour, and they are just about ready. Okay, so I will show you how to do the crosses on the buns as well. So with the Thermomix kneading function, it's not only breads, you can also do pastas. For those of you who like making your own pan mi, you can actually make your pan mi dough and make your own chili pan mi at home, fresh for your family. And you can make any sort of noodles. Just press it through the noodle press and you can make your own noodles as well. Or even your own spaghetti, your pesto spaghetti, any flavored spaghetti that you want. So it's really, really handy to have the Thermomix, because once you have tried the kneading function in the Thermomix, you can actually compare it to any other appliance, and you will find that the kneading function of the Thermomix is far superior to any other machine. Okay, so it's almost done. So this is how the dough looks now. We go next, and it says without the measuring cup. So we remove the measuring cup, and we go next, and it's going to knead for 2 minutes, but we are going to add the butter in. So I have here the butter that we weighed earlier, and it's cut into small cubes. All right. So we're just going to start kneading again, and I'm just going to drop the butter cubes in. Okay, so we add the butter in. So I like to add my fruits in. The next step is actually to roll it out, but I like to add my fruits in at this stage. So there's about just a minute left on the kneading with the butter, and I'm just going to add the fruits in. So it saves me the time of having to roll it out and sprinkle the fruits and then work it in by hand. So I'm going to add another 30 seconds to the kneading with the fruits. So even if you're using a recipe from Cookie Dough, it's quite versatile because you can actually adjust it to your own preference and do what you want. So the next step is to actually remove the dough. So the dough is done. I will remove it into this bowl and then it will need to proof for about an hour and a half. And then I would be able to shape it into the balls, all right? So these are the proofed buns, okay? So what I'm gonna do now is I have already pre-mixed the ingredients for the cross. Just follow the recipe. So it's about 40 grams of flour and 50 grams of water and a teaspoon of olive oil. So you get a paste, all right? So I've done that and I'm actually going to, let me see if I can raise this up a little bit. Okay, so I'm going to actually pipe the crosses on. So you just have to pipe them. I put it into my icing nozzle, so I'm just going to pipe it on. It will look like this. All right, when it's piped on, it will look like this. All right, so I will continue with piping it and baking it, and I'm going to hand the session over to Ezrin.
Hi everyone. I hope you can hear me. Okay, my name is Ezrin. Good morning. Good morning. Yes, good morning, afternoon to you. Okay, thanks for joining us. Okay, so today I'll be making a Chinese spinach with salted egg recipe. Okay, so I will do this manual way of cooking. So like you saw just now, Sunita and Pei Peng and Ayu was using Cookie Dough. So this is another way of cooking. So you can read recipes from the cookbook or recipes from online, and then you just have to study it yourself. So it's very easy, okay? You just need to know the 3 dials. Okay, so now first we are going to put in the garlic. Okay, I have 3 cloves of garlic here, so just put it in. And then we are going to chop it. Okay. So we can go to 5 seconds. Okay, so we just have to turn until we get 5, and no temperature because we just want to chop. We go to speed 5. Okay, So once it's ready, it will make a sound, means it's ready. So, right, now we just need to scrape it down. Okay. So this is just 5 seconds of blending. Okay. So we want to scrape down so that we can saute the garlic, all of the garlic. Okay. So Thermomix, we have a built-in scale, so you can scroll to the left and you go to scale and we can weigh our oil. Okay, so we need 10 grams of oil. I'm using here olive oil. Okay, so just pour everything. So it's very precise in 1 gram increment. Okay, for bakers, it's very, very useful. Okay, so now we are going to saute the garlic. So just go back to the time. We are going to saute for 3 minutes. Okay, and then temperature will be 120. Oops. 120, and then speed is going to be speed 1. Okay. Okay, so we are sauteing our garlic and you don't have to attend to it for the next 3 minutes. Okay, so if you do this on the fire on your stove, you will not leave your stove, right? Because you will have to make sure that you stir the garlic in the oil, okay, because you don't want it to burn, right? Okay, so before Thermomix, I was using olive oil on the fire. All of my cooking, I use olive oil. Okay, but when I started using Thermomix, I found out that olive oil, they have low burning point. So I will not encourage you to use olive oil on the fire. Okay, if you want to use oil on the fire, you can use like veggie oil or coconut oil or grapeseed oil is good. Okay, but with Thermomix, because we are cooking at low temperature, like here you can see it's at 120 degrees. So it's safe to use your olive oil because olive oil is very healthy, right? It's a very healthy oil. So please use olive oil for all your cooking in Thermomix so that you can absorb all the nutrients from the olive oil. Okay. And here just now we chop the garlic, so we don't have to turn on the reverse button. Okay, with Thermomix we have a reverse button that we have to use for when we put in the veggie later, so that it will not cut up the veggie. Okay, so because our blade we have 2 sides. Okay, we have the sharp side and the blunt side. Okay, so when you already chop something and you want to fry it or you want to stir fry like this, you don't have to on the reverse button. But if you put in your veggie and you put in your meat, if you cook manually, you need to activate the reverse button. Okay, so if you use Cookie-Doo recipes, it will help activate for you. So you don't have to worry. Okay, Cookie-Doo is really foolproof. They will set the time, temperature for you, and you just have to turn to the speed that they tell you to turn. Okay, so just now I used 10 grams of olive oil. If you see Thermomix, actually the base is quite small. Okay, but when we cook on the fire, we tend to use too much oil because maybe if you use a wok, you need to cover the bottom, and then your pot maybe is quite big, so you tend to use a lot of oil. Okay, but with Thermomix, you see a lot of recipes, we use usually just 10 grams of oil is enough to cover the base. Okay, and some recipes you don't even need to use oil. Okay, we have recipes that you don't even need to use oil. So Thermomix is very, they try to cook everything the healthy way, okay? Right, so we have about 30 seconds to go. Okay, so if you are using olive oil on the fire, what happens is it will burn the olive oil, like Pimpin said just now, right? So it will burn the oil, and because it burns the oil, it will burn your food, and then it becomes toxic and cancerous. Okay, so when you cook veggie, especially, you want to cook with Thermomix because of the low temperature. Okay, so it doesn't burn your food and you get to absorb all the nutrients from your veggie. So almost done. So you can smell, right? The garlic, the smell is really nice. But look at the color, okay? So the color is just like how it went in, right? There's no burning, there's no browning, there's no black, because all those are fumes on your garlic. Okay, it's actually toxic for your body. Okay, so now we want to add in a bit of salt, okay? Then we want to add in the veggie. Okay, so we have here about 300 grams of spinach. So just put everything in. And then we have 20 grams of water. And here we have one egg, okay, one salted egg already cut up, just put all in. Okay. Now we are going to cook for 4 minutes. So just set the time, 4 minutes. And then temperature, we are going to go to 100. And then, okay, now we must make sure we on the reverse button, okay, so that we do not chop our veggie. Okay, so the reverse button, if you do it manually, is on this small circle here. Okay, so just press that, it says reverse enable, and we go to the slowest stirring speed, which is 2. Okay, so it doesn't, it's just very gentle stirring, like how you cook your veggie. Okay, so here, I love cooking my veggie with Thermomix, okay, especially if you like to eat like leafy greens and broccoli. Okay, you will see after you cook your veggie, the color of your veggie is very vibrant. Okay, so how in restaurants, how they get this really vibrant color is they blanch in hot water. Okay, so when you blanch in hot water, half of the nutrients are gone because it's really hot, right? And then after that, they stir fry on the wok. Okay, so the other half of the nutrients are gone. Okay, so at restaurants, how they get back all the nice flavor for the veggie, they put, sometimes they use MSG, okay, if not, they will use seasoning, all right, and salt, and then your oyster sauce. Okay, but with Thermomix, you see here, I just use a bit of salt, okay, and we have the salted egg in here. You don't really need to use a lot of seasoning when you cook veggie with Thermomix because you will taste the natural taste of your veggie. Okay, it's actually sweet. Okay, something that is very hard to get when you cook on the fire. Okay, you will burn all the nutrients, then you don't get any of this nice flavor anymore. Okay, so I like to cook my veggies at home because I want to, you know, absorb all the nutrients and vitamins. Okay, because we always buy the greenest and the freshest veggie, right? And some of you, I'm sure you all buy organic veggies as well. So it's a waste when you cook those veggie on the fire. Okay, yeah, it's like you're burning your money away because you're just burning all the nutrients away. So when you get your Thermomix, you need to cook your veggie in the Thermomix. Okay, so I can't wait to show you the results. Okay, so yeah, all right. So other than low temperature cooking with Thermomix here, 100 and 120 for normal frying cooking, we also have high temperature. Okay, but our high temperature is not very high. It's 160 degrees and 170. So if you want to do browning, okay, it's at 160 degrees. You know, your breakfast sauté mushroom, you can actually get that with Thermomix. Okay, you can brown your meat, your chicken. Okay. And we also have 170 where you can make your own caramel sauce. You can make your own lollipop for your kids. Okay, because I've done caramel on the fire. I had to do it 2-3 times because it's very hard to get that constant temperature on the fire unless you have a thermometer with you. Okay, but with Thermomix, if it's set to 170, it will be at 170. Okay, constant. So that's how you can get the perfect caramel. Okay. So other than that, okay, we also have a few modes in Thermomix. Okay, if you scroll, if you go to home, okay, oh, sorry, okay. If you scroll this side, you get all the modes. Okay, so some of the modes that I like, the first one is called kettle mode. Okay, so this kettle mode is different from your normal traditional kettle because your traditional kettle, once you turn it on, it goes straight to 100 degrees. Okay, so it's actually too hot if you want to enjoy your tea and coffee. Okay, because we recommend to have your tea at 75 degrees and your coffee at 95, okay, so that you can really enjoy the flavor of your tea and coffee. Okay, so you can just set the temperature 75. Once it reaches 75, it will turn off. So then you can use the water and you know, make your tea. Okay. So we also have this slow cook mode, okay, up to 8 hours. Okay, so you can make your braised duck, your beef stew, even your red bean soup. Okay, so imagine someone is standing in front of the stove for 8 hours and stirring for you. Isn't it nice? Isn't it so flavorful? Because we will not be doing that, right, for 8 hours. Okay, so make sure you also try our slow cooking. Okay, I've tried the beef stew, it's really good. I've also done the braised duck, really super. Okay, so we also have, if you're adventurous, you can make your own yogurt and even cheese. Okay, all right. And yeah, yogurt, you just have to start overnight. You need the starter, which is milk and yogurt, and then you can make a whole batch of yogurt the next day. Okay, so now our veggie is ready. So I have here about 300 grams of spinach. So if you have less, it's okay. If you have about 200, 150, you can still cook your veggie. Okay. You should also try our stir-fry broccoli and carrots. Okay, it's really, really good. I know kids who don't eat veggie, when they try Thermomix veggie, they love it because it's sweet. It's natural. Your veggie is naturally sweet, but when we overcook it, you don't get that sweetness anymore. Okay, so make sure you try Thermomix veggie. Okay, so that's your, look at that. The color is really nice because you still preserve all the nutrients in here. And then here I have a bit of sesame oil, so just pour on top. Okay, just for extra flavor. Okay. So that's your Chinese spinach with salted egg. Okay, this is going to be my veggie for lunch. Okay, so I was saying just now, we have this fermentation mode, so make sure you try. We have a lot of recipes in Cookie-Doo, okay? And the last one, my favorite, okay, is the sous vide function. So sous vide is when you get restaurant quality food at home. Okay, so all you need is a BPA-free plastic bag, and then you can put your meat in there, be it fish, beef or chicken. Okay, you can even sous vide your egg and even fruits. Okay, so you have to put it in the bag, and then you can put your seasoning, your herbs, all right, and then you cook at long hours, but at very low temperature. Okay, so you preserve the nutrient and the flavor is really nice because everything is contained in the bag. Okay, so in restaurants, they usually have a sous vide machine at the back, and let's say you order your steak, they will ask for the doneness, and then you say medium. They will take out from the bag, and then they will sear it according to the doneness. So maybe just 30 seconds on each side, and then they will serve it to you. So that's how you get really good restaurant quality food. Okay, it's very tender, it's very soft because it's cooked at low temperature but long hours. Okay, so you also must try our sous vide function when you get your Thermomix. Okay, so that's it. This is the veggie. Okay, you see it's really nice, smells really good over here. So you have to try it. Okay, now I will pass back to Ping Ping to finish the presentation. See you later.
Okay, so now can you imagine how wonderful it is to have a Thermomix at home? Can you imagine the type of food that you can now create yourself easily at home with full of confidence? Yeah. So just now, I forgot to explain when I did the 3-in-1. Actually, here in the Baroma, you can also put a plate on the Baroma if you want to hold the sauce together with your food. But I deliberately did the steaming without a plate. Why? Because I want the sauce of the meatball to go into the sauce that I'm cooking at the bottom. Right? So in future, you can also do chicken rice, for example, steaming the chicken on top and then allowing the sauce of the chicken to drip into the rice that you're cooking at the bottom, giving you really tasty chicken rice with the pure chicken essence that's dripping straight fresh from the chicken itself. So you can do that. So I've already removed the meat into the plate, and I've already plated here. I'll bring it closer to everyone. Can you see the wonderful meatballs? Right? Isn't it wonderful, beautiful? And later on, I will cut out a piece and show everyone how juicy it is inside, right? So let's move on to the most interesting and important part is this. As Esri was mentioning about the different molds, actually there are a lot more to explore, and we simply can't share all these 20 functions in this short 1.5 hour session with you. Yeah. So what you can do is when you get your Thermomix, you can actually choose the recipe that you like to start with. But today you can, from the observation, you will realize that, wow, seriously, when my friend says cooking with Thermomix is quick and easy, it is really quick and easy, right? And then everyone can cook. Now, can you cook? Can you make your hot cross bun? After saying today, you say, yeah, I think if you give me the Thermomix recipe with the ingredient, the weight, the time, the temperature, the exact, I can do it, right? You can confidently say that, yes, I can. And seriously, everyone can cook once you get your hands on the Thermomix. Healthy eating, as we was explaining, the temperature control is super important. You can get the best ingredient outside. You can invest in organic vegetable. But the most important thing, you got to cook it right. If you cook it on a high temperature, we are burning all our investment, we're burning all the nutrients, right? So by cooking it at the right temperature, your family actually enjoys a healthy meal every single day, right? For everyone. Auto cooking, as we are cooking, I could leave and I could do my other things at home while the Thermomix takes over the cooking chores for me, right? Hours of stirring, it's all done by our kitchen machine here, our Thermomix here. Space saving. Now you can imagine how much you can save in the kitchen. You can have a really clean and neat and tidy kitchen. All you need is one Thermomix and it does wonders for your family. Goodbye to cooking fumes. You can see IU was making Teh Tarik in the balcony. Sunita was actually making bread on the dining table. I'm actually cooking in my dry kitchen, and it's all possible. Look at Asrin, she could all dress up so nicely and cook a wonderful vegetable, saute a vegetable, and still maintain a clean self and a clean kitchen. Right? So how do you get your Thermomix? The first way is the full payment. You can go for full payment, and we also have financing. So the price is the same, whether it's full payment or financing. It is still 6,988. Our financing is interest-free financing, and you can choose up to 24 months. All right. So whether you go for full payment or financing, at the moment now, this is our special promo, Mother's Day promo, okay, which is the 2.2 liter thermal server. So what's the thermal server for? It is an insulated bowl, high quality insulated bowl from Europe, and it comes with a lid and a serving tray. The bowl is stainless steel, high quality stainless steel, insulated bowl. You can hear it's hollow in the center to help you to keep your food warm or cold. So it goes both ways, okay? So after cooking, for example, and you're not eating your food yet, and you want to free your Thermomix for your next recipe, you can actually pour everything here. 2.2 liter of ingredients from your TM bowl can go into here, the TM thermal server, because it is also 2.2 liter. It is also great for keeping your salads fresh. All right, you can also keep in the fridge. And for example, if you make yogurt and you don't know where to house it, this is a wonderful place to also keep your yogurt, and you can cover it and put it in the fridge as well. If you love to explore other things, for example, taufu fa, how do you make taufu fa? After cooking your soya bean milk, you can actually pour it here, and because it keeps the temperature hot, covering it after 45 minutes, you can incubate your taufu fa here as well, right? So it's a very useful thermal server, right? It's limited in stock, so do get your hands on it before it runs out. So it comes together, whether you go for full payment or installment. Now, our thermal server is what we call purchase and hosting, meaning after you purchase, we will keep the gift for you, right? Hosting means all you need to do is to get 3 to 6 friends, right? Like-minded friends who like healthy eating, who wants to cook at home but couldn't, right? Let them come aboard on our Zoom or our office cooking show, and you can claim your thermal server, right? So 3 to 6 friends to observe and to have a wonderful cooking session with us, okay? And if it's full payment, it comes also with an additional cookbook of your choice, all right? So, and on top of the thermal server for full payment, you get an extra cookbook worth 160 ringgit. Okay, so all the accessories, complete accessories will come together with the Thermomix. It also comes with a basic cookbook, which has about 100 and 70 recipes inside. And you have a choice of either going for Chinese version or the English version, okay? So when you place your order, you need to let your advisor know which version is your preference, because it is all prepacked in the box that is shipped in from Germany. So we need to pick the right sets for you. And when you get your Thermomix, you will also be enjoying a personal unboxing session where you can choose what you like to start cooking with, your favorite dish of the day to start cook with the Thermomix. And it can be anything, right? Your advisor will be able to give you some ideas. If you want to do baking, maybe you want to do a butter cake, maybe it's your first butter cake. And you tell advisor, I want to start baking with my Thermomix. And butter cake can be a good recipe to start with. You have no idea what to buy. Your advisor will give you a list of ingredients and how to shop for the ingredients. And we will be there together with you in your home to start your cooking with your Thermomix or your baking with your Thermomix. It can be your first bread. It can be your first cake. It can be your first rendang chicken. It can be your first chicken curry. It can be your first fried bee hoon. You know, we will be there together with you to start your Thermomix journey, right? Then we also have something called the Thermomix career. What does this mean? Behind the wonderful product, we need a lot of Thermomix enthusiasts to share the Thermomix with many, many homes out there. And we hope to bring this wonderful joy to as many homes as possible. So we need more people to come in and join us to share this wonderful piece of product with everyone out there. So if you love what Ezrin is doing today, you like what Sunita is doing, sharing with people how to make bread, myself teaching people how to cook meals at home, do explore this. We have a career behind for you. It can be also a part-time career, or it can also be a full-time. All right, so don't miss out on this wonderful opportunity. Explore this opportunity with your advisor, okay? So would you recommend the Thermomix to your friends after seeing today's show? Hey, tell me what attracts you most in today's show. For those who are new, in terms of recipe, do you think that the bun is something that attracts you? Or the meatballs, can create meatball from scratch, from quality meat, or cooking vegetable at the right temperature, giving your family the best nutrients. Which are the recipes that attract you? All right, and then can you see friends around you who may need this in their home? Friends who are perhaps a chef and they make a lot of sauces. They spend hours in the kitchen just making sauces. When they can leave it to the Thermomix and they can go for more adventurous recipe, creating more adventurous menu for their customers. Wouldn't it be lovely? Let your friends who are out there who are chefs know that, hey, Thermomix is in the market. Master chefs are using it. So you can also have it in the kitchen, right? To simplify your cooking, right? BD professionals, if you're working full time and you still want to cook, now you can. And let your friends know as well. Friends who always buy organic food, but always cook it maybe the wrong way. You want to let them know that you can maximize your investment in organic food by cooking it right? Bring them into our show, share with them the wonderful ways of cooking with the Thermomix, keeping the nutrients and the vitamins, right, of your quality food, right? Our friends who are always buying cookbooks, looking at many, many cooking programs, but still yet fail to create, good meals at home, maybe Thermomix is something for them, right? So do share with different homes out there. And, it is wonderful to bring this piece of tool to many homes that they giving them the capability to put quality home cooked meals for their loved ones. All right, so before we end, I'd like to move the screen around to different chef of the day to showcase the recipe, the end result of the recipe. And Ayu, we go on to Ayu first, and then we move on to Sunita, and then Esri, and all the chefs, please stay on the screen with your phone. We want to capture a full screen photo, okay? So let's share your wonderful recipe, your end result with the viewers here. Ayu, let me put you on, yeah, you're on screen now. Ayu. Have you stick the Teh Tarik? Have you?
Yes, 1 second. Let me just get this here.
How is it?
While the Zoom was on, as you saw, it was up here just now earlier. Now it's gone all the way down because
Oh wow! So you were enjoying the show, and everything.
so everyone has been coming and topping up. So this is all that is left. Honestly, I've never thought making Teh Tarik was this easy until Thermomix, because the mess that you will have to clean up is just with all the tarik and everything. Everything is inside the one bowl, and it was super fast, super easy, and I can control the sweetness, so it was really, really great. Everyone's loving it right now. So I told them, I'm like, no, this is for me.
All right. I'm sure all of you are very excited to see how the buns turn out. Are you seeing on the screen? Yeah, you don't see yet. And then
So these are the
wow.
hot cross buns. So if you follow the recipe, there is the recipe for the cross as well as the glaze. So look.
It looks really, really fluffy. You see the size that it has grown when you baked. It wasn't that big.
Yes.
It's like really
So
large.
it's just the right size for like one person. They're not too big, but it entirely depends on you. I like to make about 16 buns, so I just divide the dough equally into 16. So I actually make 16 buns. So the tray, this is the rest that's left on the tray.
Oh, okay.
So I just put them apart and I bake them, and then as soon as they come out of the oven, you have to glaze them. So then they look really, really pretty.
And it's not the part where the bun is baked while it's being baked at home. So Nina, can you explain how your home smells like now?
Oh, I love making breads because whenever you make breads or buns, the smell is just amazing.
It draws like it draws the entire
I'm resisting like biting into one.
Have a bite, Sunita. I want to see.
Yeah, we want to see how something.
Give it through, yeah.
Wow.
Oh, so good.
Freshly made. No one can be better than that. Right?
And
And
really soft.
with the Teh Tarik, it is like just make a magic made in heaven. Okay. And let's go to Ashley. Ashley, your wonderful healthy vegetable.
Yes, this is my veggie. Okay, I can't wait to eat it. Okay, sometimes this rice and veggie is just perfect. It's good enough. Okay, so try this recipe. If you want the recipe, you can get from your advisor. We'll share after this.
And you notice, right? You look at the vegetable, the color of the vegetable, even if you left there for like 20 minutes, it still stays green. Unlike those that are cooked on the wok. Right? I hope you do see that, because with the right temperature cooking, the nutrients are really preserved and kept. That is really a big difference. Yeah, wonderful. And then here are my meatballs, which I will take a piece and I will also break a piece to show everyone. Okay, so I make two versions. This one I have chicken mixed in together with some beef, and the other one that I made just now on the spot was just beef. So you can see the color was different. And now you can see I can create anything. I can even make nuggets now with this. I can make my fish wings, and you can see now how juicy it is inside. Nice and juicy and fresh. All right. Remember? It's really nice and juicy. And this is my lunch. Healthy lunch. Remember your thermal server. Most importantly, get your hands on your Thermomix soon, because it is something that you will never look back. It's the best investment that you will ever have for your family, not for yourself, but for your entire family. Okay? So do look out for our coming cooking show next week. If you want a personal hands-on physical one, please connect with your advisor. I'm sure they'll be more glad than to bring their Thermomix to your home and cook together with you. Or you can also ask to come to our studio as well. All right. So we do hope that all of you continue to keep in touch with us. We love to see you in every show that we have and get more friends to join us together as well. All right. So till next week, we wish everybody have a wonderful weekend and stay safe at home. Bye-bye. Any words from our chef today?
Bye, everyone.
Bye.